Are you filming me?
Let's go take a quick look at the garden as the sun is setting. Okay guys, it is the evening. It's actually almost 7 o'clock p.m. on Memorial Day. And I thought, you know, the light is hitting the garden. It's beautiful. So let's take a quick look at it and let me give you an update. We've had a couple of good rains since the last time I updated the garden. But you can see the sunflowers have popped up, and I'm debating on whether or not to plant anything with it. I've got some pole beans, and I'm really tempted to plant some to trail up the sunflowers as they grow. Then over the fence here, those are the zinnias, and still no sign of the chamomile, but it looks like I've got some rogue zinnias over there. There are my raised beds. Look how gorgeous they are. They are filling out like every single day. I did come out here this morning and try to pull some weeds, but the radishes are really filling out. The red onions are popping up. The lettuces look good. That's the freckled romaine, and look, they're freckly. Carrots look good. More onions, more lettuce, more radishes, and guys, right here today, right down this middle, I planted some peanuts. So we're gonna see how that works out for us. And then of course over there, the only thing different about this bed besides there not being any peanuts is right along the back I've got peas planted. But everything is looking fantastic. And if you're wondering why I left these logs here in between the beds, basically it's a place to sit while I'm working in them. So while I was weeding, I was able to have a place to sit, and it wasn't so strenuous on my back. So anyway, but isn't it lovely? Okay, so some of you have been asking about the landscape fabric that we've been using to keep the weeds at bay. It is doing fantastic, but here's a problem that we are running into. As it ages, it does start to get thinner, and so there was one day that I came and was working in the garden and was wearing my muck boots because we had a lot of rain, and it tore the fabric every place that I stepped, and so and that fabric is getting really fragile now. So like even if there's just a hard wind, it just lifts that fabric up and just pulls it. So we're probably going to have to recover where some of it's coming up, but places where I've just worn like my flip-flops, it's not torn at all. So let me turn you around and show you what's going on. Here are my peppers I've got planted this way. This is a mixture of California Wonders and Ruby Reds, and I've also got my yellow Spanish onions, I think they are. You can see my basil is filling out, looking beautiful. These are 2 black cherry tomato plants. Lemon balm is just filling that pot up. Then I've got Romas, and all of my tomato plants, almost all of them, are already getting full with little baby tomatoes. Very exciting. Beets look good. Gonna have to thin them out. Gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do about the crabgrass growing in there, but it's looking fantastic. Our jalapeno plants are loaded, and some of them are even, look at there. We have some already getting some size on there. But yeah, the onions look great. Everything is looking great. This is probably my favorite part of the garden, just as far as like aesthetics. It's really cool looking. Okay, so let's walk over here. But yeah, you can see right there, this part's really bad. So yeah, so that's just something to be aware of if you're thinking about using fabric in the future. Okay, so zucchini looks good. I've already got it thinned out. I replanted just yellow crookneck squash here, 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 there, there, and there. But here, I've got one patty pan squash plant that has survived. So I really hope that it does well. You can see my corn is getting overtaken with grass. And I've had to reseed toward the end. You can see kind of where are we at? You can kind of see a bald spot there and there. So yeah, I'm kind of getting nervous about the corn. Cucumbers look good. They're starting to get long enough that I can push them over and start trellising them. This one I need to get more jute to trail. Here I replanted okra, and it's already popped up. So that makes me feel a lot better about our okra situation. We didn't have any okra last year because last year I hurt my back and I was not able to get into the garden to weed at all, and the weeds and the grass just took over. So we didn't have any okra last year, and trust me, I missed it. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, collard green. You can see where the corn that I reseeded is starting to pop up, so that's good. Let's see. I came through here and I thinned out the collard greens, and the dill's doing well. I just have to keep that paper pulled back. I moved the pot of chives over here. Chives, just like dill, deter cabbage moths and loopers. So you guys know that I had cabbage moths in my collard greens last year, so hopefully this will keep them away. Here are more tomato plants. I've got pear tomatoes, black vernissage tomatoes, and I think that's it down here. But yeah, the rest of these are Romas until... Hold it! See that bald spot between the two tomato plants where my finger is? I actually just planted some muncher cucumbers there. To right there. Then those are San Marzanos. Yeah. Okay, and then over here we have green beans. Everything's looking good. Don't have any blossoms yet, but that will be coming soon enough. But yes, we have 2 rows of Blue Lake bush beans and 2 rows of Romas. And then of course that is my big pot of marigolds, and I have noticed some tight buds on there, so it won't be long before I have blooms. For those of you who are wondering how I did this, so I have this big pot down here, and then I set a smaller pot in the middle. You see the smaller pot there? And then I just planted around this pot and then in the center of that pot, and it just looks really, really cool. It just looks like a big bush of marigold. So can't wait for it to blossom out. Anyway, that's the garden. That's all I've got for you guys today. Oh, and look, hubby pressure washed the back of this building, so there's no more like green eyesore right there. It was looking really bad. Okay, anyway, so that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you all had a wonderful Memorial Day. I was certainly very thoughtful today of my grandfather who was killed in Vietnam when my mom was 6 years old, and just thankful for the legacy that he left behind and for the man that he was. So hope you all enjoyed your Memorial Day, and until next time. Hey, thanks for coming by. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to share it with your friends, pin it on Pinterest, you know, whatever. But yeah, and there's also a subscribe button down there, so if you haven't clicked it already, be sure to do that. That way you don't miss any of the videos that I put out. We talk about gardening here, frugal living, homemaking, homeschooling. You know, I cook the occasional food, make the occasional craft, so if you don't want to miss any of it, be sure to click subscribe. Okay, that's it.